going on? Sorry, that was a little longer intro than normal. Just doing stuff, posting the show up, sending out emails and whatnot. Anyways, how's everybody doing? It's Friday. Welcome to Jon Does on a Friday. Friday, December 2nd. We're in December now. That's crazy. 2022 is essentially over. It's crazy. Anyways, before we get going and everything today, where do you think I'm going? Where do you think I'm going with this? WildDinosaur.com, baby. You thought I was going to take my shirt off there for a second. You're like, well, what's he always start off with? He's showing his boobs? Nope. Not today. WildDinosaur.com. It's the best place to support this channel. It's also the holiday season. Like I said, it's December 2nd. You need some holiday gifts? I got tote bags. Look at this. Look at this tote bag. This is a good one. This one's called Lakeside. Super durable polyester bags with these cool handles. You get color options on the handles and everything. I'll throw that back there for now. I got t-shirts, sweatshirts, all kinds of stuff. Go check out wilddinosaur.com. Go pick up something for, your significant other or your friends or family or whatever, for the holiday season. We need to, I need to move some of these older prints so I can, two things. I need to make some time for some new prints, but also I would like to move some other older stuff just to get some new designs up there. Anyways, welcome to the show. I'm excited because there's a lot to talk about today, and I think I'll start off with a little emotional house cleaning, if you will. I have been a little not sure what to do. I mean, I'm always not sure what to do. That's kind of life, isn't it? You kind of figuring it out as we go. That's all of us. This is episode 75. This is the most consistent thing I've ever done on my own, art media wise, not art wise, but media wise, I would say. Like, I started doing shows a long time ago. I've started various shows, podcasts, stuff like that, and I don't think they've gotten past like the Virtual Crate podcast that I did was probably the most that I put into anything before this show, and I think we only did like 20 episodes or something like that, but I was doing clip outs from all those shows too. So this is definitely the most consistent thing I've done, and I've gotten to a point where I was like, I hope I don't come off sounding like I'm blaming my audience here. I'm not. This means I have to do more work. But I feel like things have declined a little bit in the viewership and interaction. I guess there's not a lot of comments. Usually when I get comments, not live comments, but on YouTube, the video comments are usually like bots. They're like, check out my nude pictures and stuff like that. And I would like this to do more. I work best when there's things to bounce off of. I have notes and segments and stuff that I'm always trying to put together, but I do work best with people. I'm finding I think we all communicate better when there's somebody else to bounce off of. So I've been kind of trying to figure out, like, how can I do this? The Zoom, I'll be honest, getting Zoom calls set up has been a nightmare on my end. So, and I'm not saying no to Zoom calls, but I am not putting any effort into it at all right now. There is something I am considering, and so I'm a musician. You can tell by the guitars back there and the bass. And a long time ago, I figured out buying gear doesn't solve your problems. But I do think in this particular instance, that's not always a rule to live by. In the creative world, having a bunch of effects pedals doesn't make you a better piano player, guitar player, whatever it is. It just accentuates and it can be more fun to deal with your instrument or whatever. But I typically like to approach the most problems is like you don't need to buy something to solve something necessarily, but I do think in this particular instance I might be making a purchase for this show, hopefully to make things flow a little better. For example, the intro music always gets cut off. It's not a fade, it's more of like a slight fade and then cut. And that's because I have the audio built into that graphic that you see, the thanks or starting soon, and later on the thanks for watching. I'm sure you guys don't really care about this, but I am I am considering making a purchase to smooth some of these things out. So like I could fade my own music, I can have sound effects, and the other option too, or the other function that this piece of gear might offer me is phone calls. It wouldn't be Zoom calls; they would just be straight phone calls. But that does allow me more opportunity to have more stuff for you guys. There is even the possibility, I'm not going to set this up right away, but there's even a possibility of doing just like call-ins, and having discussions about, movies and stuff like that with you guys. So it's not just, I know some people have a hard time with the delay with the chat, and I get that. I totally get that. I don't mind it so much because I think for the most part I do okay. Sorry. Been running around for a while. I'm not even really tired. I'm just, my brain needs oxygen. Yeah, I want to be able to do more stuff for you guys, and phone calls would allow conversation. Like I was saying, I don't mind the delay so much for myself because I feel like when people respond, I guess there's sometimes I miss what the comment is in reference to, but hopefully I can get phone calls set up too. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about this because this is what I'm considering. This is the Rodecaster, and yeah, it's 4 microphones, and then you have these other inputs. I could do music on one channel, I could do phone calls on another channel, and then have a bunch of sound effects built in here. I can also just use this as a podcast recorder, throw an SD card in there, and record just podcasts. So if I go travel, I could potentially take it with me and do some interviews or something like that. So this is what I'm considering. If you really want to help get this, buy something from wilddinosaur.com. That'll help support. There's deals right now, which is why I'm trying to do this sooner rather than later. There's some really good deals that I've found for this that are make it something that's tangible, a little bit more tangible. Not to say they're super expensive. They're like $600, $700 new. I found a good deal on new ones for a lot less. So I do want to pull the trigger on it, but I also, it would be nice to know that people want to see me do more of this stuff. My content is always gonna, when I'm doing this by myself, there's obviously only so much I can do, but the technical end of the show I think would be a lot smoother, a little better than what I'm doing now. So nobody's in here right now, but if people show up later, I'm gonna maybe stop what I'm doing to get a feel, because I want to know two things actually. You think I should invest in this Rodecaster? And also, do you think I should change my graphics again? And I've been kind of thinking about just going to, instead of having like a full motion background, using the background for like just graphics when I need full screen graphics, and then just getting rid of the border around my camera and everything, and just do full screen camera with transparent text on screen. Maybe a spot for graphics, as I'm talking about, because they do like popping up graphics. But I don't mind doing like over the shoulder or anything like that. I come from news, so that's about par for the course for what I'm used to. So I'm going to take a sip of my drink. So, excuse me. Anyways, Derpy, what's going on? Hey, I don't know if you heard, I'm considering buying a Rodecaster, one of these things, to do phone interviews and sound effects and stuff like that. Yay? Nay? Should I do it? Jurassic Park theme. I could definitely do some like remixes and stuff like that, and there would be a spot to run music, and there would also be like various music, and I could plug my computer in or whatever. So I have a bunch of like music library. I could also put in a bunch of like sound effects too, so like dinosaurs roaring and whatnot. Wouldn't that be cool? I don't know. So yeah, I'm considering purchasing the Rodecaster. So he's like I was saying earlier too. If you check out wilddinosaur.com, purchase something from my shop, it helps. All right. So yeah, I've talked about little things that I'm thinking about doing for the show, Rodecaster, whatnot. But let's get into actual stuff today. I have one quick story, and then we'll do a commercial break, and then we'll get into the trailers that came out yesterday from the Brazil Comic-Con. So I read this story earlier today, and it actually made it last minute. But it made me really sad. And the story is, Los Espookys is not returning to HBO after season 2, but keeps the door open for future projects. This is a quick article. There's only a couple paragraphs here. So, Los Espookys is ending with season 2 at HBO as the cast moves on to other projects. Earlier this year, it was announced that Julio Torres, who created and starred in Los Espookys, is developing the comedy series Little Films, and the Coming of Self series Lucky under his first look deal with HBO. Created by Torres, Anna Fabrega, and Fred Armisen, Los Espookys follows a group of friends trying to turn their love of horror into a successful business. So then it goes on to say, wait, who is this? Oh, HBO. We're thrilled we could have delivered a unique and hilarious second season of Los Espookys to viewers, finally, more than 3 years after the series premiere, which I really loved. Sorry, I know there's a little delay. You need to make your own Morphin sequence intro. You know, Power Rangers because dinosaurs. Yeah. So I was a Power Rangers fan. I'm old. I was in like third or fourth grade when the first series came out. And I love Power Rangers. And I have some Power Ranger toys. I will pull those out for one of these episodes. Yeah. Anyways, okay. So back to Los Espookys. More than 3 years after the series premiere, due to the pandemic delays, an exclusive statement from HBO reads, "We thank Julio, Anna, and Fred for this imaginative and delightfully bizarre world they created. We are not currently planning on a third season, but we would love to welcome the opportunity to work with this cast and crew in the future." Season 1 premiered in 2019 to an audience of we don't need to know all that information. So I'm pretty bummed about this because I loved Los Espookys. It was one of my favorite pandemic shows. And it really took a long time to get that second season out, which I liked. I liked season 1 maybe a little better, and I was definitely looking forward to a season 2 or season 3. But it doesn't look like we're going to get it, unfortunately. So, that's a show that worked so well for me because I was working at Telemundo for a handful of years, and so most of the content was Spanish language. And then I left my job and moved to come back down to Southern California, and this show comes out, and I was like, this was perfect. For me, it was perfect timing and everything. Oh, hey, what's up, Jason? Just got HBO on special for Black Friday. I'll have to check out Los Espookys now. It's a weird show. It's totally weird, and it's half in English and half in Spanish. I don't really know how to describe it. I hope you do watch it, though, because I do love the show. Unfortunately, it is no longer getting any more seasons, unfortunately. So, but hey, Jason, since you're here, I know there's a delay here. I was talking about this at the beginning, trying to get some stuff out of the way. I think I've been struggling with these Zoom calls, but I think I found something that I'm going to invest in the show. One of these roadcasters. I've been thinking about these for a long time, but I actually have some ideas now. And I could do phone calls and stuff. So there's a potential for, better, smoother music transitions, sound effects, and I can do like Bluetooth phone calls through this thing. So I don't know. That's something I'm considering. There's some good deals right now that I've found. Oh, The Expanse got canceled? Oh, it did. Okay, I didn't know it got canceled. I've only heard good things about that show. I should watch it at some point. So I gotta take another drink here. But all right. Yeah, where were we? It was after the third season, then Amazon brought it back. Huh. Well, it's always good when, you're getting a recommendation on a second, third, or fourth viewing, whoever. I've rewatched a handful of shows many, many times. I would say the show that I've probably rewatched the most at this point is like Parks and Rec. I really like Parks and Rec. I still throw it on every once in a while. And Futurama. Game of Thrones was a big rewatch for me. I stopped rewatching it so much after season 8, but basically every season I would watch it as it aired and then rewatch it again before the next season. So I don't know, I probably watched the first season 8 or 9 times because I'm a crazy person. That was over like what, a 10-year period, something like that. So yeah, I'll have to check out The Expanse. Yeah, Amazon's starting to crush it. There's some big business moves, actually. Excuse me. This squirt just made me super burp like gassy. Whew. Another good rewatch was *Halt and Catch Fire*. Parks and Rec's Futurama, definitely on the top watch. Yeah, those two were great. Pat really liked *Halt and Catch Fire*, and he has recommended that for a long time. There's like a ton of shows that I always get recommended that there's so much good stuff out there, or there's so much stuff to watch. Not everything's great, and I purposefully sometimes don't watch good things. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to watch. Who was in *Halt and Catch Fire* again? There was somebody. Who was it that? Oh yeah, Mackenzie Davis. Yeah, she started popping up in a bunch of stuff. She's in that Terminator Dark Fate movie. Oh yeah, and Blade Runner, that was the other one. Yeah, *Halt and Catch Fire* is something I've heard great things about. Man, she is striking. Sorry. So, yep. Los Espookys is ending. I'm gonna do an early commercial break. It's a little earlier than normal because there's a lot to talk about here at the end of this. I don't think everything came out of Brazil Comic-Con, but within like a 2-day period, there was at least 4 pretty great trailers. 3 of them, I will say, are fire. So we'll talk about those. We'll talk about those after the commercial break. I'll see you guys in like 40 seconds.
I'm Richard. I'm Richard's Pet Wedding Facilities. And I give these stickers away at every pet wedding. The kids love them too. This bag from... what's his name? Wild Dinosaur? Weren't they all wild? What an oxymoron. Anyways, I like to put my special things in this bag. Plus, I'm pretty sure this is my spirit animal.
Life gave me lemons, so I sold them for this sweet baseball tee. All right, welcome back. Go buy something from wilddinosaur.com so I can buy a Rodecaster and do sound effects. You know, I was thinking that some of these episodes that feel a little not as exciting. It's definitely me. You know, I have moments or days where I'm just like not feeling as excitable as other days. But I think it would be really fun to be able to run sound effects while I'm in that kind of a state where I'm just like, yeah, hey guys, we're just not really feeling today, you know, I'm just slow news day, and then I'll just like fart sounds or crowd laughter or cheering, you know, stuff like that. All right, well, I'm back for round 2, segment 2 of Jon Does. And the reason I did a little earlier break than normal was because I was not paying attention. I don't think some other reviewers had been paying much attention either, or considered it really. I'm sure there's other people that do, or did. But Brazil Comic-Con was going on, and Comic-Cons are usually good places where you get new information on things or new trailers. And guess what? We got a bunch of trailers. The first one, I don't think this came out of Brazil Comic-Con. I think it came out the day before it started. But there was a trailer for a little movie called Cocaine Bear that came out. And if you did not see the trailer for Cocaine Bear, you probably should. It looks amazing. It's a horror comedy. It's going to be rated R, by the way. I think something in this vein needs that kind of rating. But quick little synopsis. An oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converge in a Georgia forest where a 500-pound black bear goes on a murderous rampage after unintentionally ingesting cocaine. Now, you need to know that this is loosely based on a true story. Loosely based. There was a bear that consumed a lot of cocaine. I think it was something like 30 kilograms of cocaine from like a drug deal gone awry or something. It was like a plane that had some drug dealers in it like dropped a bunch of cocaine out of their plane because I don't know all the details, but a bear ate it. So that's the synopsis. You get a really great cast, and I'm not sure if this is his last role, but Ray Liotta's in this movie, and unfortunately he passed away this last year. So you get a Ray Liotta cameo, or not even cameo. He's top listed here on IMDb, and he is in the trailer pretty. Not predominantly. I think the bear's in it the most. And also Kerry Russell, Alden Ehrenreich, and I've never been able to pronounce his last name. Forgive me. Christopher Hivju. He's the guy that played Tormund Giantsbane in Game of Thrones, the ginger guy with the big red beard. O'Shea Jackson Jr., Jesse Tyler Ferguson. I mean, IMDb has the full cast list, obviously, but yeah, those are the bigger names. Isaiah Whitlock Jr. as well too. These are the bigger names in this cast, and I believe, it was directed by Elizabeth Banks, and is this? I think I remember seeing Lord and Miller are producing this. Produced by Christopher Miller, Phil Lord. Yep, Lord and Miller are producers on this. They did the Lego movie and whatnot. And actually, it's funny that they have Alden Ehrenreich because they were the two that were originally doing the Han Solo movie that got fired for their apparent take on the Han Solo character. Which at this point, I would have liked to see that. I'd like to see what they had up their sleeves with Alden Ehrenreich, because he's in this as well. But yes, that was the first trailer that came out, and I can't wait for this movie. When does it come out? When is the release date? Just as 2023 so far, but I think there was a date. Hold on, I figured it. I'd have more information here. February 24th. So this comes out the same month as Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know. Have you guys seen the Cocaine Bear trailer at all? It's fucking crazy. It definitely has the type of vibe of this could be like the next Snakes on a Plane, which it could, but it could also be like better than that. We're in an age where they did a Weird Al biopic that has actually nothing to do with, well, not nothing to do, but that's not his actual biopic. He didn't date Madonna, things like that. That movie is insane. And it was so much fun. And, dang, super gassy. Sorry. Yeah. Uh-oh. The dogs are barking. Um, see, some sound effects right here would be perfect. Man, I'm pretending to press buttons that just aren't there. Oh. God, I need that Roadcaster. Go buy some tote bags from wilddinosaur.com. Go buy some tote bags. You guys all go buy tote bags. You're like, well, we got tote bags. What do you do with them? Well, where'd you get the tote bags from? Oh, I don't know, like Kmart, Target, Walmart. No, I meant get tote bags from wilddinosaur.com. Anyway, sorry. A Cocaine Bear. What a great concept for a movie. What a great concept. I'm hoping this will be a fun time. It is rated R, and it's kind of horror-ish. There's some scenes that look pretty brutal. But all right. Cocaine Bear, February 2023. What do we have? This poster, by the way, for Cocaine Bear is awesome. I love this poster. If I was in college still, instead of having like the obligatory Blow or Scarface poster that a lot of the kids had. I'm only assuming they still do that, but when I was in college, like, those kinds of posters filled up all of the apartments, dorms, student housing, basically. It was either those or like big Grateful Dead or other like jam band posters that people would have up in their, other Bob Marley posters and stuff like that too. But if there were movie posters, it was always like Scarface or Blow, usually that were that were up there. But if I was back in my college days, I never had one of the Scarface or Blow posters. I always had tapestries and some other like art and stuff like that. I don't do it here. When I eventually move into another place, whenever that is, I'll put them up. But I've had a mask collection of various masks. My mom, some of my family members, when they travel, they would bring me masks. And I've made a couple of masks, like paper mache and stuff like that I would put on my walls. But anyways, this is a poster I'd put on my wall, especially if I was still back in my I almost said cocaine days, but I meant college days. Yeah, the cocaine days haven't ended. I'm just kidding. They totally ended. Or did they ever start? Anyways, the next movie trailer we got was there's a new Transformer movie. It is called Transformers Rise of the Beasts. I'm not super ingrained in Transformers lore, mythology, or anything. I liked them as a kid a little bit. I liked other things a little better. And I've got a couple of stories regarding this franchise. The first movie is okay. You know, it's to me maybe one of the better ones. I never saw Bumblebee, although I hear Bumblebee's like pretty fun. I went to see, I think it was the second Transformers movie when I lived in Portland, Oregon. And if you've been to Portland, there are various movie theaters around town. They're, I think, all under the McMinimans brand. There's like a bunch of pubs and bars and stuff, but they started buying out like old theaters, like not movie theaters, but like theaters, balconies, stage, stuff like that, and they would do movies there. Or there's one, I think, in North Portland. Was it in St. John's? I think it was. And is it, I think it's called the Kennedy School. Sorry, it's been a really long time since I've been to Portland. But so there was these McMinimans theaters, and they were not all of them were movie theaters, but they were all bars. They had alcohol, and you could order food and stuff like that. And I don't remember which theater it was. I went to one of them. You know, and actually, I might be mistaken. This might not have been a McMenamins. Although McMenamins did cheaper movies. I think it was McMenamins. My ex-girlfriend and I went and saw Transformers 2 at one of the, like, $2 theaters. It was $2 at the time. I don't know what the cheap theaters are these days. If they're, like, $5 or $10 or whatever. Because, like, $12 is, you know, a regular AMC or whatever, or Regal. So I don't know what the cheap theater costs are these days, but we went into the $2 theater to go see this Transformers movie, and we both walked out and asked for our money back. We got our $2 back. It was not good. I do not like these Transformers movies much. Although I do feel like I could maybe give the Bumblebee one a shot, but I will say, after watching this trailer, the design is changed slightly with these characters, and I like them. I like the design of like Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. Not that they're vastly different, but they're like sleek. They're sleeker, but they feel more vintage in some of the scenes. Instead of just like bright, shiny chrome, metallic parts flying around like the other. Not to say that's not what we're gonna get, but I do like the designs a little bit better. But the thing that is this might change my tone around the movie is that this is not a Michael Bay movie. I think he's producing this, but he did not direct it. And he didn't direct Bumblebee, but he did the other 3 or 4. I don't remember. I don't know how many there are. And I'm not a Michael Bay fan. I will give him a pass on one movie, and it's not Pain and Gain. I've never seen Pain and Gain. I've heard that's one of his better movies, but the one Michael Bay movie, in my opinion, that's totally worth the pass is, I think it's 1996. Let me see. Oh, there it is. What year? Yeah, 1996. And it was not the first on the list. When you Google The Rock movie, you can imagine it's not at the top of the list because Dwayne Johnson movies are at the top of the list. But The Rock, the Michael Bay movie, The Rock from 1996, that is a badass movie. I love that movie. I should probably rewatch it. That's my favorite Michael Bay movie. And also, if you're like some people, it actually is a pseudo James Bond movie. Some of the stuff loosely lines up with how Sean Connery's character ends in the James Bond franchise. And he ends up in prison in this one, and he's been in prison forever. Which, if you think about it, like, okay, well, why did Roger Moore pop up? Or why did we get these other James Bonds? Well, it was because this version, Sean Connery's James Bond, was thrown under the bus by the British intelligence, and he's been in prison for like 25 years or something like that. And so the 007 moniker is passed on to different agents, which I'll be honest, I like that theory. I can get behind that theory. This movie is ridiculous. It's Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage, and Ed Harris are in that one. But anyways, I don't mean to detract from the Transformers trailer, but I do still think that The Rock is the best Michael Bay film. It's got all of the same stuff that Michael Bay is known for, but it was 1996 before, you know, I think he was still coming off of being like was he a music video director? I think he did music videos and stuff like that. But Stephen Cable Jr. is doing this new Transformers, and he did the last Creed movie. Is it the second? That's another franchise I'm not big on. But yeah, he did Creed 2. Yeah, Creed 2. A Different Tree and The Land. I'm not. Oh, there's. Okay, yeah, there's more. Oh, he did an episode of a Transformers show as an animated show. So yeah, he did Creed 2, Grown-ish, Rapture. He did the music video for Dope Man from Machine Gun Kelly, The Land, Class, First, Land of the Misfits. Oh, these are all shorts. Okay, yeah, this is earlier in his career. So he has a decent resume. And he's still building it for sure. I think there's 15 things here that he's directed. The Creed 2 being the one a lot of people talk about, and I haven't seen it, so I'm not sure. But oh, this is cool. I should look at the voice cast here because this is something I didn't look at previously. So Michelle Yeoh is in it. I think she's actually in it. I don't think she's doing a voice. Peter Dinklage is doing the voice of Scourge. Ron Perlman is doing Optimus Primal. Pete Davidson is Autobot Mirage. Yes, John DiMaggio, who is the voice of Bender in Futurama. He's doing Stratosphere. Oh, I'm sorry, Jason. You've been talking. What'd you say? Yeah, losers always whine about their best. Winners go home. Winners go home and ask their prom queen the bet. Yeah. Yeah, Sean Connery lines in The Rock is great. It's super great. No worries. No worries about the delays. I'm sorry it's frustrating on your end. Yeah, no, I knew that was from The Rock. Again, it's been a while since I've watched that movie, but there's some great one-liners in The Rock. Glass or plastic? Glass or plastic? What? What do you mean? When that bomb goes off, we're either all going to be turned into glass jars or plastic bags. Such a great line. Sorry. Yeah, so yeah, go back to this voice cast. Peter Cullen's coming back for Optimus Prime. Okay, cool. Yeah, the cast doesn't look super stacked, but good enough. And it looks like they are sticking to half of the cast being. I mean, I don't know the history of some of these actors, but I feel like some of them are probably voice actors, which I think that's great. I think that's I would like to see more voice actors being used and stuff. Like the Mario controversy. I actually don't dislike the Chris Pratt. I do wish they had hired the Mario voice actor. I don't have the energy to care about Chris Pratt doing a half-assed Italian accent for the Mario Brothers movie. I don't have the energy for that. But it would have been nice to have, like, maybe, because you have Anya Taylor-Joy doing Peach, and you have Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia doing Luigi. Maybe having, like, the original voice actor as Mario, and then having some stars around him to, like, boost him up a little bit might have worked better. I don't know. We don't know what better is. The movie hasn't come out yet, but yeah, The Rock is definitely an ultimate 90s movie that needs to be appreciated more. It's the best Michael Bay movie. I'm more worried about how much of a goofball they're making Mario in the news trailer. Yeah, I think that's fair. That's totally fair. I feel like there wasn't a lot of, well, there wasn't a ton of dialogue from Mario, I feel like, in both trailers, but you get a lot from Peach and Luigi. I do think, though, I liked that opening scene in the new trailer where he looks like he's getting ready to compete in something, and he looks like he's ready for business, and it's against Donkey Kong, and he catches him, and Donkey Kong just like beats the crap out of him, slaps him around. I thought that was funny. I think they can use some of the Nintendo tropes in a good way, and I do think the movie looks great. I think the graphics look great, like really good. This is like Nintendo doing Pixar. Now, it's Nintendo doing Nintendo, but on like a Pixar scale. And actually, it makes me even a little bit more excited about going to Universal when they eventually open up the Mario World there this next year. I think that's coming up in like March or something. All right, I'm gonna move past the Transformers because it's probably my least anticipated on this list of 4 movie trailers that I'm talking about today. First being Cocaine Bear. Don't get me wrong, I'm super excited. Oh, we're gonna go to Universal Studios if you see Mario Land again. Yeah. I'm not gonna go to Mario Land on opening day or anything, but I went to Universal this last September for the first time in a really long time, and had a lot of fun. And Universal's nice for if you live in Southern California. I think Universal is maybe a better. It's not a better experience than Disney. Disney is one of those things where it's probably best if you do 2 days, because there's a lot to get through at Disneyland if you want. There's 2 parks, and within one park there's just a ton of stuff to do. But if you live in Southern California and you're just like trying to go do something fun for a day, some attraction, Universal is not bad. They got the Harry Potter land. They got a bunch of stuff there. And that Mario World looks really awesome. It looks really awesome. You could see it if you've been to Universal in Hollywood. There's a big it's built on a hill, so there's a big staircase. You can see it from the freeway, a giant staircase that takes you from one part to part of the park down to the other part. And as you're going down that, you can see it because it's down on the bottom area, and it looks like a Mario game in real life. Yeah, and it's cheaper too. I think Disney is like $100 a day or something, or $110 a day or something. I don't remember. Totally don't remember. And if you got a family, that's probably like over $1,000 just to take your family for like a day or 2. I bet 2 days with like a 4 or 5 person family is probably about $1,000. I did hear that was maybe one of the reasons why Bob Chapek got fired. Or not why, but one of the things maybe has something to do with why he got fired. But I also heard that Bob Iger is really mad about how the parks have handled things over the pandemic, because they did, what was that, the Star Cruiser, the Galactic Star Cruiser, and that's like $4,000 or $5,000 to do that, and it's like not everybody's doing that, especially these days, you know. I think Disneyland does do magical experiences, but like, I don't know. I still think that the tickets could probably still be under $100, $80, $90. I think $80 is definitely worth it for entry to Disneyland. I mean, in my fantasy world in my head, you know, it's, you know, $10 a ticket. My dad grew up in Ventura, and he was born in 1947, and he lived in Southern California when Disneyland was built. So I think he was there when the tickets were probably $5 or whatever. Okay, I need to move on. I got stuff to do tonight. I'm house sitting and gotta take care of some cats. So anyways, the next trailer that came up that it's probably this, I don't know in what ranking order I'm excited about these, but the Indiana Jones 5 trailer dropped, and I'd been hearing about this since, I think, Comic-Con. They showed a trailer to the audience. I think it was at Comic-Con. Comic-Con or D23. Don't remember which one. But yeah, I'd been hearing it was only shown to the people there. It wasn't released, obviously, because we just got our first one. But people were raving about how good this looked. And then I see this trailer drops from this Comic-Con. So I dropped what I'm doing and I threw it on. And I think this looks good. There's a couple of CG moments that I'm like, maybe they're still working on that. But this is not a Spielberg movie, and I think that's a good thing. I like Steven Spielberg, don't get me wrong. The first 3 Indiana Jones movies I find are really, really good movies. I haven't rewatched them in a while, but I watched them a lot growing up. But the director of this one is James Mangold, and that's exciting because James Mangold has done a number of really good movies, and one of them that I really enjoyed was Logan, the Wolverine movie, the end of the Wolverine storyline to be continued. We'll see what happens since he's coming back for Deadpool. He did Walk the Line. No, I don't want the producers. There we go. Yeah, he did Ford vs. Ferrari, Logan, The Wolverine, Vegas, Night and Day, 3:10 to Yuma, Walk the Line, Identity, Kate and Leopold, Girl Interrupted, Copland, and Heavy is his first credit here. I think I skipped one, but anyways, James Mangold's directing this, and he has I like his direction from the James Mangold movies I've watched, and I think this was a good choice in direction for James Bond, especially seeing how he ended the Wolverine storyline. Again, that's probably getting retconned with Disney owning it now, but as an individual movie, wrapped up a little bow, cherry on top, So Harrison Ford's coming back for his, as far as I know, final installment as Indiana Jones. I've always been under the impression, I heard a long time ago, and I don't think I've heard anything to the contrary of this, that he came back for Star Wars as long as he got to come back for a 5th Indiana Jones, because the 4th one was not received very well. So he's coming back. I think our villains of the story. We got Mads Mikkelsen. I love Mads Mikkelsen. He's fantastic. Boyd Holbrook, who I'm liking more and more. He was also in Logan, and he was in The Sandman. I forgot the name of the character. He's the guy with the glasses that when he takes them off, there's like little mouths for his eyes. Whatever his name is. Sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is in this. Antonio Banderas, Toby Jones, John Rhys-Davies is coming back as Sala. Thomas Kirchman, who was in the MCU, he played Baron von Strucker during the Age of Ultron era. Who else? Who else is in this? That seems to be it for the big name cast, but there's a lot of people in this. The trailer looks pretty good, and they do some de-aging in it. There was a scene when I first watched it, I thought they pulled it from, I thought it was pulled from Last Crusade, but it's not. It's actually and I don't remember the difference, de-aging versus deepfake. I think it's de-aging. I think they did de-aging, not deepfake. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good doing the de-aging on Harrison Ford. Do you think you can tell it's old Harrison Ford with like a CG'd face? Yeah, there it is. Sorry, I have IMDb open, and it's just like kind of playing the trailer on silent for me so I can see some of this. But it looks really fun. I think it looks visually really great. This scene where he's on horseback riding through this parade looks exciting. Um, I mean, the fourth movie was not good. I think most of us agree, but I'll admit I'm more excited about this now that I've seen the trailer. It's a franchise I actually feel like could just go away and it would be okay. All franchises could go away and it would be okay ultimately. We'd forget about them after a while because we're not being marketed to every 10 seconds. But Indiana Jones has always been one of my favorite trilogies. When I learned what a trilogy was growing up, it was one of the staple trilogies. There was Star Wars and Indiana Jones. For me, so those were highly revered in my head, and actually both my dad and stepdad really like Indiana Jones. I showed my stepdad this trailer when it came out, and he was like, "Wow, this looks cool." So it's exciting. All right, it's 7:00, and I got one more trailer I want to talk about, which you probably know what it is. It's the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer. Guardians has been tricky for me. I really, really liked the first one. I think I saw it like 6 or 7 times while it was still in theaters. And I really wanted to like the second one. And the second one still is really stunning. I haven't rewatched it in a while, and I probably should, because I think my opinion has probably changed on 2 a bit. I still think that some of the one-liner, like turning Drax into a walking one-liner machine, maybe didn't work for me at the time. However, we just got through Thor Love and Thunder and She-Hulk and some of this other... I like Miss Marvel a bit, but there's some cheesy humor in there. And we are very much in the Marvel phase of not good humor. I mean, it works for some people, but I have not appreciated some of the humor recently. And for me, I felt like that's where Guardians 2 is where I started to see that happening a lot. Not to say that it didn't exist in Marvel previously, but I started to see it more. It was like Guardians was the first really successful... No, it wasn't the first really successful one. Iron Man was. And then the Avengers franchise. Because we got Guardians 1. Was it after? It was before Age of Ultron, I think, if I remember correctly. And then the character stories have continued through the Avengers and whatnot. Peter Quill as a character really liked in the first movie, and he became really annoying, and I think a lot of people can get behind the conversation that Infinity War would not have ended the way it ended if Peter did not make the actions he did, punching Thanos while Mantis was we're just at Marvel has lost all sense of what anybody cares about. I don't know if they have. I think they've pinned themselves in a corner because they've done so well that this phase they are trying a lot more new stuff. And I don't think they're hitting the mark. I do think they'll course correct pretty soon. I think they understand that there's a lot of criticism right now of what's going on. But I do agree a lot hasn't been working for me either in Phase 4. But I do think that some of these trailers coming up, like Ant-Man looks really good. And that comes out in February. And the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer drops. And this, knowing what James Gunn has done with DC, excuse me, seeing the Suicide Squad and the Peacemaker show, which I don't know if you guys have watched Peacemaker. I think Peacemaker's awesome. It's definitely like a R-rated show. But you take like a D-list character. I mean, the Guardians of the Galaxy were not very popular Marvel characters, but like Peacemaker is like a D-list character that is now a super popular character because of what James Gunn has done. I mean, obviously he's going to be running DC here coming soon, but I do think this trailer looks pretty awesome. It looks really emotional. I like seeing Will Poulter for just those quick frames as Adam Warlock, because I've been looking forward for Adam Warlock for a really long time. But yeah, this looks really, really emotional. We're definitely getting deaths in this movie. James Gunn is not afraid to kill characters. See the movie Super, one of his earlier movies that he did with Rainn Wilson from The Office, who becomes a superhero. That movie, that's another one I should rewatch because I remember hating how it ended because it made me feel bad, but I think it actually is probably a pretty good movie because it made me feel bad. Yeah, this Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer that dropped, it looks really good. It's definitely gonna have some oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just looking through the cast list, and I didn't know if some of these were like iffy. Like Sylvester Stallone probably will pop up in this. He was in the second one as one of the Ravengers. Elizabeth Debicki as Aisha will probably be there again. She's the gold. She from the second movie. She was all forget the name of the species. She's the one that creates Adam Warlock, though. And Chukwudi Iwuji is going to be the High Evolutionary. He was in Peacemaker as well. This is the one that caught me, though, is Michael Rosenbaum. I think I heard about this, but I didn't like it. Just completely out in one ear, out the other. He played Lex Luthor on Smallville. Oh, you know what? No, you're right. He was in Sylvester Stallone's crew, Martin X. In the second one. Okay, yeah, I forgot. I need to rewatch that second one. And then Maria Bakalova, who is Borat's daughter in the second Borat movie. She's doing the voice of Cosmo the Space Dog, who was in the Guardians Christmas special, which I liked it. I probably didn't enjoy it as much as some people. It is a fun like holiday special, and I think I don't know if you're. I like that Marvel is doing these shorter specials. Like I really liked Werewolf by Night, and I think this Guardian special was pretty good. There was only a couple of pieces of information we really needed to know from it that I think will move the story forward in this third movie. But I mean, the trailer has all of the emotion. It's got action, and yeah, it looks like it's gonna be. I don't know if this is okay. Yeah, it looks like it's. I think James Gunn will probably do a really good job with this, and partly because this is actually the end of Marvel for him for now. I mean, his contract with DC is only 3 years, which is not really that much time. It's enough time for him to get a couple of things going. And I maybe we'll see him extend that contract, but this, as far as we know, is the end of James Gunn and Marvel, which is sad. I would have liked to see, before he got fired, I'd heard there was word that he was going to be running some of the cosmic, outside of Guardians, he was going to be running some of the cosmic parts of the Marvel universe. Really wanted to see that. Unfortunately, things worked out the way they did, where they fired him and then brought him back later after he'd signed with DC. And DC basically won. They got what they wanted out of James Gunn, with James Gunn, not out of James Gunn yet. Maybe a little bit. Peacemaker and Suicide Squad. But anyways, did you guys watch any of these trailers? I'm probably the most excited for the Guardians 3. That does come out in May. I'm probably the most excited about these. That's out of these trailers. Indy 5 is probably my second most. Guardians, because it's part of this bigger story, and I do like the team itself. I'm ready to see it move on, but that's why I think I'm excited about this. Indy 5 I'm excited about just because it's Indiana Jones, and I do feel like there's a lot of love and care put into it that will redeem itself from the fourth movie. And then third one, I mean, I'm going to put Transformers way at the bottom just because I'll watch it probably. I might not watch it in theaters. We'll see. It does look better than some of the other ones though. But Cocaine Bear is probably my next most anticipated movie. That's just right up my alley. I'm super excited about Cocaine Bear. And I think also I've been having this vibe this last year where I've never really cared much about horror movies. I've watched them, but I don't go out of my way to watch them so much. And I think Cocaine Bear might be one of those, like, it's not a horror movie, but it is a horror movie, but it's also like ridiculous, and it's like what Kung Fury is to a kung fu movie. You know, it's just dumb, but it's super fun. It's a Kung Fury. When is that second one coming out? Hold on, I gotta look this up on air. Oh, was it canceled? Kung Fury 2? No. Okay, so according to the Wikipedia page for Kung Fury 2 is an upcoming martial arts comedy film co-written and directed by David Sandberg, based on and serving as a sequel to his 2015 feature Kung Fury. Starring alongside Sandberg will be Michael Fassbender, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Alexander Shipp, Ralph Moeller, and Jorma Tacone. Okay, again. Kung Fury 2 is scheduled to be released in 2023, so there's still hope. I don't know if you've seen Kung Fury. If you have not, I think it's on Netflix. It was definitely on YouTube for a while. It started off as a concept. It was a trailer concept for like a film that didn't exist. And then the trailer got so many views that they ended up making a short film. It's like 45 minutes or something. And it's ridiculously awesome. Super badass. It's got that retro, like 80s vibe to it. There's a dude that does time traveling by wearing one of those Nintendo Power Gloves. There's dinosaurs with lasers. There's Kung Fu Master Adolf Hitler. There's a bunch of crazy stuff. And I know Hitler's name's been thrown around a lot lately, but this is a fun version of that. Not like a Kanye West version of that. Anyways, I gotta get going. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I had more fun. Let me know what you think about the Roadcaster idea, because I think if I do pull the trigger, it should be soon. I think it would greatly benefit the show. Let me know what you guys think about any of these trailers. If you haven't watched them now, go watch them, then come back and let me know what you think in the comments. I don't have any live music stuff planned right now. Maybe we'll do some music here next week. Oh, you know what? Pat wants to come on, and we want to do some end of the year lists. Some of our favorite stuff. So next week, over the next 3 weeks, we'll be expecting Pat, and we'll do episodes of our favorite records of 2022, favorite TV shows, and favorite movies and whatnot. So we'll get those lists going probably next week. What else is there before I go? Right. My notes say plug the website. And what website do you think? I don't know. this might be a complete mystery. What website do you think I would need to plug? It would probably be this one right up here that's written right above my head, called wilddinosaur.com. It is the best place to support this channel. I usually keep all of my I need to do a little bit better job, but I have more stuff coming out. It's not released yet, so there's stuff not up there, but homepage is, my last music video. There's other links to all of my art, other music with Pat, and other Wild Dinosaur releases. There's also 2 shops. There's an NFT shop, which I don't usually talk about because I think most people are over at NFTs, but I've had the shop for like 2.5, 3 years now, so if you're into NFTs, I've got some available. They're only available to you. There's not other, I'm not even using them in other prints. They're kind of like B-side, if you will, pieces of art that aren't being printed on anything else. So these NFTs are one of a kind. There's also the merch shop, which is where you can get your tote bags, sweatshirts, t-shirts, socks, stickers, all kinds of stuff like that. And it is the holidays. You need some gifts for some people. Get them a tote bag. Get them a tote bag and a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. It's cold. It's winter. It's cold. You need a sweatshirt? You should get a sweatshirt. There are pullovers, sweaters, and zip-up hoodies. Yeah. The last thing I want to do before I get out of here is the same thing I always like to do. I think it's crazy, the world we live in. And one of the things that's crazy is the healthcare system in America. There's a lot of functions that Planned Parenthood does, but there's a link in the description to donate to Planned Parenthood if you feel so inclined. I feel like they are a great cause. I'm not fundraising for them for any specific reason. I really believe in Planned Parenthood. What you hear in the news whenever Planned Parenthood comes up is usually only about 1% of the things that Planned Parenthood offers for both men and women. They do a lot of great stuff. So check out wilddinosaur.com and donate to Planned Parenthood if you feel so inclined. I'm going to get out of here. I got stuff to do tonight. I got to go eat some food. And yeah, I will be back next week. I'll keep you posted on what happens with this Rodecaster, if this happens or not. So if you hear things like me saying, "Oh, I bought a Rodecaster," you should expect positive things for the future of this show. So, anyways, have a good rest of your evening. I hope you have a good weekend. And I'll be back on Wednesday. Even though school's over for me, I'm still sticking to the the Wednesday-Friday schedule for now. So just 2 days a week. But I am, planning on doing more live music stuff. Something like those edits that I did before, and that I had been posting up on previous Fridays, and maybe Wednesday, if there's a slow news day or something, I'll plug in drum machine and guitar or something like that and do a little jam, see what happens with that. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll stop babbling. Hope you have a good weekend and a good beginning to your week. I know it's rough. Weeks are rough. Weekends are better. All right. You guys have a good rest of your night and weekend. I'll see you next week. I don't know how to end things. Bye.